what you want to hear. It's what you don't want to hear that's going to save you. We got saved and have done nothing after that.
Lord help us.
He said, come unto me, that all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest.
Yeah.
Take on my yoke, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. We stopped right there because we forgot in John 15:4 when he said, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you can ask anything in my name and it shall be given to you. You keep wondering why you can't get an answered prayer because you don't have the word of God in you. You don't have a prayer life. I keep stressing this thing. The prayer life. God keeps telling me to stress it because if we don't have it, we're going to lose our salvation because the prayer life is the key to the power of God. The prayer life is the key to spiritual warfare. And we have not been called to a physical battle, but to a spiritual battle. That's why God said, I called you to put the armor of God on as a soldier in the army of the Lord who shall be able to stand. It's the ones that sit down on their knees and get up with power. Because when you have a prayer life, the devil tries to do everything to stop you from praying because he knows that if I can't stop you from praying, I can't stop you at all. Because when God's people learn how to pray, they pray like they did in Acts. And somebody can be thrown in jail like Peter and John and have a prayer meeting, and then they show up at the prayer meeting that they was praying for. It was a time when we used to pray like that. I wasn't born, but I wish I would have been. When Brother Slack, I don't know, Bubba came in here on a night that they had been praying for him, and he showed up.
All right.
That's the kind of prayer life the saints need to have. You want your wayward son and your daughter to get saved, get back on your knees. Before you know it, they'll show up at church and say, what must I do to be saved? It just amazes me. That's one of the greatest stories in the Bible, that they were locked up for preaching the gospel. And they had a meeting at John Mark's mama's house, a prayer meeting, a true revival prayer meeting. And while they were praying, the angel came in and busted Peter and John out of the prison, and then they showed up at the prayer meeting while they were still praying. That's powerful prayer. But it took self-denial in order for that to happen. We live in a time where Christians don't want to do anything to deny themselves. But we want God to answer our prayers. We live in a time where we want everything handed to us and don't want to work for nothing. God says, will I find you still working when I come? Nobody retires from being a preacher. I don't understand how you can retire from being a preacher. I understand you can step down from being a pastor, but how do you retire from preaching? We call to preach every day and every time, and our life is the biggest message. Not your words, but your lifestyle is your biggest message. He says, even in thy mouth and in thy heart, in the heart for our personal salvation, in the mouth for God's glory. And the salvation of others in the heart and not in the mouth is cowardness. In the mouth and not in the heart is hypocrisy. The hypocrite knows how to look good and knows how to carry his Bible under his arm, but never in his heart. We have a lot of coward, hypocrite, and fake saints nowadays that have a fake, false salvation. And say they are saved, especially in the American church. You know what? It's people overseas that's coming here to evangelize in America. It used to be the other way, that we went over there. They coming over here because they like man, they need a serious revival in America, because the church in America is in a chaos.